Welcome back to Usapang Bayan. Makakasama pa rin po natin Art Conservation Specialist, Miss Annali Garcia. Ma'am, why did you choose art restoration as your profession?
Well, when I saw a movie about a violin that was restored, I was so inspired, and I said, I want to do something like this. After which, I also met some experts here in the Philippines from Spain who gave talks, and I was so enthralled that I said, I'd like to do this.
Well, one of the questions I had earlier is, how do you actually do restoration work? I see you have some paraphernalia over here, and we have a small sample here. So maybe you can just walk us through it?
Sure. I will show you how to clean, for example, a very dirty artwork. Although it's not that dirty. Kunyara, let's pretend it's an original that's very dirty. So first, I have a medical stick. And this is your cotton. And then you make a cotton chino. What is a cotton chino? It is,
Like a swab.
yeah, and making one is also a challenging job because not everybody can make one very well. Tight. It has to be very tight and properly made. You have to spin it until it's this.
Like a
Looks
big
like that.
cotton bud.
See? But kailangan nga masikip. So, maayos. So, next, put on your gloves because you might not see that there are many molds on the artwork so that you can protect your hands from bacteria.
So it's more to
and
protect you
germs.
rather than the artwork.
Oh, yes. Also, and so that you're, it's
You don't contaminate yourself.
right. Now this is a solvent that we use to clean. There. And then as you clean it, dapat nagsaspin din ito. So it's not just rubbing it with a
May
big
movement
heavy
din na.
pressure. It
Okay.
takes a lot of time to be able to clean an artwork so that it doesn't get damaged. Because sometimes when people clean it and they're not properly trained, pwedeng ma-erase.
What kind of solvent is that?
There are various kinds of solvents depending on the strength that you need. So minsan makapal yung dumi, yung old varnish. You have to use the really stronger ones. But the stronger solvents, some of them are cancerous. So I don't encourage the use of very chemicals that might harm your body, or make sure you have a face mask. That's why you have to give it to the experts because they would know how to deal with it.
And what it does is it removes the accumulated surface dirt rather than the paint.
Yes, of course. The solvent will not erase, should not erase. Now, if your solvent is strong enough that it can dissolve the paint, then that requires the skill of the expert restorer na magaang lang yung kamay. Hindi niya maatanggal lahat. So that's why you have to ask how many years experience ka na cleaning a Marsolas. How many years experience? Saan ka nagtapos? Saan ka nag-training? Can I see the degree?
In your business, how many assistants do you have?
Actually, I only have one, and I don't keep them normally every day.
On
Depends
siya.
on what project. Kasi I copy how my masters in Italy would do it. Hindi lahat maraming tao. Hindi lahat binibigay yung trade secrets. So just do a portion of the job because I noticed here merong mga conservation labs and they farm it out to people who do not have the proper training so that some have been damaged or are not properly restored. But of course we do need a team to help out if it's a huge piece. But the level of competence of restorers here, some of them, we really need to get some people trained abroad pa.
Usually, ma'am, gaano po katagal mag-restore ng isang artwork?
Depends, siguro mga 1 to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Um, if it's only cleaning, mabilis lang yan, 5 days. But if it's a total relining and the frame has to be fixed, has to be gilded, you have to attach the gold, you have to put back the pieces that disappeared, that could take as long as 3 months, 3 buwan. Pero kunyari, marami kang kliyente, lalong tumatagal. So, may line. It's like to create the gown of Miss Universe to France, took them 6 months to finish the gown. The craftsmanship, diba, is what you're paying for.
But how do you charge for restoration work? Is it the number of hours, the materials that you use? How does one go about, coming up with a bill?
Well, there is basically, each restorer has their own formula. Some based on ours, some because I am so and so, I am this guy, I've lived here for so long and I've done this work and that work. Track record. Meron naman because I was part of a certain museum or I got my degree from a school in Canada or New York or in England. It really depends. The materials is another factor, that makes it more expensive, what the materials will be, so that when you get a quote, you ask him, ano ba yung materials? Ano ba yung ilalagay mo dito? Baka patatas lang yan, tsaka laway. Diba? Bakit ako magbabayad ng 200,000 kung patatas lang ang gagamitin mo at tinapay to clean my painting? So you have to be very inquisitive on what exactly is the restorer going to give you in exchange for the fees.
In your experience, what is the kind of average work that you do? Is it more restoration work, conservation work, or absolute, parang talagang damage repair?
For me, a lot of the works I have cleaned are quite important masters, master artworks.
Can you talk to us about what these artworks
like
are?
People who have like the likes of Hidalgo, Luna. So these artists, they understand how to make a painting last kasi nag-aral sila sa Spain So ang foundation is very strong and it doesn't just get withered. And sometimes all it needs is cleaning.
I see. Can you give us a range of what your professional fees have cost?
Right. For diagnosis only, just to tell you what's wrong with it, it would be 2.5. Okay. After which, a normal amorsolo of this size would range from 50 to 100,000. After cleaning, there might be some pictoric integration that's needed. Pictoric integration means retoke. May mga areas na nawala, kinain ng ipis, nag-chip off. So may retoke. It's like, makeup artist, ayusin ng konting defects ng face, lalagyan ng concealer, But after making it well again, putting it back into the original state or making it beautiful again, you ask for the documentation. What happened? What did you do? Step by step. Merong papeles.
When you talk about the documentation on the restoration work that was done.
Right. And what did you do? Right? What happened? And then who is this artist? You can some restorers give that, which me I do. I do a good research on the artist, who owned it, provenance. I just, I really make sure the service is complete.
Are you able to certify if the artwork is authentic?
Well, I can say that this is really from Amorsolo, and I know when they are fake. But I cannot assure you that I have the precision of an infrared spectrography camera, which has a more scientific way of telling you that this is the pigment used on this layer, which existed in this year. So that if biglang acrylic lumabas na bago sa infrared spectrography, how did that happen? Or meaning, naretoke na. It's not the usual black light that they always give you, that line that, oh, I have a black light, I know where, if it's not the black light anymore. It's more than that. It's like, how can you determine cancer today? Meron na tayong mga machines, diba? MRI, CT scan. It's getting better and better.
What does it take to be an art restorer, ma'am?
Well, a lot of patience. You might have to really study your art history, take the technical courses, maybe even short courses abroad. Or when somebody's in town from abroad, from conservation labs like Singapore, Korea, interact with them or encourage seminars. Make it inclusive. Kasali dapat, hindi kami-kami lang, hindi lang yung for the certain niche of the society. Include everybody from the entire 7,500 islands. So, it's inclusive, no? Should be inclusive. Kasi lahat tayo, meron tayong pwedeng ma-save, no? Especially in the remote islands, maraming mga lost works of art or damaged. So, it's a consciousness for everybody.
Are restorers also considered artists?
They can. Normally, some of them are already gifted in art, making art, no? That's really a plus. Pero some of them are also chemists like my assistant, like I trained her rin, and she's with the NHCP. Magaling siya mag-drawing din, pero chemist siya. Or the guy who makes my organic fungicide, he's a biotechnologist. He won presidential awardee siya ng scientist. So I tell him, how do we approach this na ang invent mo yung hindi harmful to the user? So, non-toxic. So, they work it out. But they've studied also in New Zealand. And it's good that we have people like them over here. Hopefully, people who have trained abroad come back and help the country naman, di ba? Instead na brain drain. Umalis.
Well, we need to pause for a station break, ma'am. Sa amin pong pagbabalik, makakasama pa rin po natin Art Conservation Specialist Ms. Annali Garcia. Please stay tuned.